All right. So we have a film study of this is an interesting one. My intention was to start it off was a film study for Kayla, just about as she's getting ready for her first first smoker exhibition. So I wanted to go over a couple things for Kayla, and then as I'm watching the video, I was listening to, so Serena was cornering, and I was just listening to some of Serena's instructions, which were, it's funny because they are just like what we would do, what we would say, specifically what I would say to Kayla for some of the things. So I'm going to leave the sound on, which normally I shut it off. We'll give Kayla, some feedback, but it's just we'll let this play out. I think this is interesting in a study of language for Lucky Punch boxing, and you'll see how what we do it's different than what other gyms do. Not that it's right, not that it's wrong, not that it's better, not that it's worse. It's just different, and I dig that. I dig what we do. All right, so without further ado, let's take a look at. We have Kayla and Ashley drilling. So this is Ashley, whose back is to us. You'll see Kayla in a moment. And let's just get right to it. So, what Serena asked for, land a strong jab that lands on the gloves. One of the areas I've been weak at, Serena pointed this out, and Jeff actually brought this to her attention, which is we do a lot of feinting and a lot of taps to the gloves. What we need to do, and we need to have more of, is something strong, a strong jab. I like air gloves them. I think it's important. One of the things that we need to establish in the beginning is power, is something that makes them wary of us, something that makes them have to. By the way, total aside, if you look at good position here, and then if you look out here, it's a very similar moment. That's cool. All right, sorry about that. I just noticed that. All right, anyway, so we need to establish something right out of the gate. And I remember, and I'm sorry, I'm like jumping all over the place. I apologize. When Ashley was training with Lauren over at Boston Boxing, Lauren told her something similar. You got to come out and you have to establish something to give them something to worry about. It's just interesting. It's not in my nature for teaching that. However, I've got to, that's on me, and I've got to break out of that. And it's got to be more so for, we need more of that. So in this moment, I think it is a great advice. And it doesn't mean you have to do it every second, every round. It is a good thing to have in your repertoire, especially in the beginning. You want that big moment of some sort of power to get them thinking, to get them like, oh shit, this girl can crack. All right. And again, it's a strong jab to land on the gloves. We're not going to overcommit and work an attack right out of the gate. You can. For here, right now, we're not. And I think that's interesting, too. We're going to work the gloves, and we'll get the feel. I think a feeling out is fairly important. I'm going to shut up, and we'll watch that again. And I like that. Now you've established, and then whatever the thing X is that you've established. And now we could do something different. And I like too, I think I saw Kayla, what I liked out of you, I like that little, right there. So Kayla had a subtle slip, and a duck. And let's watch that again. And Kayla, I like that. We're a little stiff in the delivery of it, but that's the right thing to do at the right moment. We just need, what you did was absolutely right. We just got to work the execution of it. But that's exactly it. And right here, ready? Little slip, little duck, little change of height. Ashley does the same thing. Let's watch Ash for a second. So you could hear Serena talk about controlling the air. controlling the air. You could do that with feints, with strong jabs to the glove, to the air. It's a way of, when we talk about controlling the air, we're talking about, it's in the Venn diagram. It's air, it's space, it's that distance. We want control of that. Listen, and let's take a look at the selection. That was a nice little 1-2. There's the jab. There's the 1-2. What I'd like to see at the end of that, Kayla, is that nice jab, that nice 1-2. You could see how you're keeping your head in the same spot. And by that I mean I'm going to look for an example. Hold on. All right. If you watch sort of what Ashley does here, and even though Ashley's not the one punching, let's watch Ashley's head here. She acknowledges the kid right there. Ashley's always got that really great. See right here, if you watch Ashley's not concerned right now. We're working drills for Kayla. Ashley's not all that concerned with, for lack of a better expression, staying safe. She's just, we're working. The drill is for Kayla's benefit, but you could still see Ashley. It's in Ashley's DNA to get that subtle head movement. If this was an open spar where, danger's on the table, you'd see Ashley with more, that deeper head movement. So, Kayla, what I'd like to see is after that nice 1-2, head movement. And great selection, by the way. Great selection of punches. I love that you work the levels. Let's go back to that. And right there. So, two things. Screenshot moment. We've got, and again, this is one of those interesting moments. If you look back here at Daniel and Sam, Daniel's having a similar moment. So what I liked here, Kayla got some work in and Ashley controlled the gloves. So again, we talk about control. This is one of those control moments. Kayla's getting, so backing up 2 spaces. Serena asked for add on more punches to what you just threw. So we had that 1-1-2 moment, and then Serena's like, add on after that. So then we have a moment where Kayla's adding on 4 punches, which is great. She had good punch selection. We had punches upstairs. We had punches downstairs. I love that we're working those levels. Defensively, I love Ashley deals with those punches, and then Ashley gets control. And controls are huge. So let's just go back, because I like this sequence. And you can see, so jab to the air too. That's what Ashley did. And then you could see as Kayla, as you're doing that as well, if Ashley, so we'll pick it up from, we're going to really pay attention to add jabs to the air, that call, and then what Kayla does. What we're looking for is if Ashley were coming in, like, okay, it's my turn, and she comes in, she's running into those jabs. So we want to make sure that we're not just sort of lightly letting the hand go out. We want to make sure we're throwing something with authority. Nice. Right there. That was really good. Let's watch that again. On your own. Great job.
Great job giving her stuff to worry about.
So that's the other thing. So in the drill-wise, I like Ashley's giving Kayla things to worry about. She's controlling the gloves. She's throwing some punches. So when, no matter what kind of drill you're working at, I like how Ashley figured out okay, I'm going to give her some stuff it was just very well done. I like that decision making by Ashley. But we're going to focus on Kayla. Kayla, beautiful job with, jabbing to the, it was just, those are great jabs to the air.
Stuff to worry about.
Right there.
Ashley, great job giving her stuff to worry about.
And right there. So see how we're going out? I'd like to see those go out a little longer. If you watch what Ashley does.
Ashley, great job giving her stuff to worry about.
See how Ashley gets that extension? That's what we're looking for out of these, Kayla.
Nice. Perfect, Ashley.
And nice. And Kayla, I like too, if you guys watch, Kayla's height drops. It's subtle. But you could see here. Here's the height. And look, see how it dropped? I like that. Boston Boxing has what they call a power stance, where they'll be in, a regular stance, and then the knees bend and they settle. And I like where a moment where you can settle. I like height level changes, and Kayla, I dig that you added that in. Yeah, you can sort of what we were doing for this night. Part of the drill was changing your height, changing. You're just sitting down a little bit here and there. So I like that you sat down. And again, I'd like to see a little more fluidity with that lead hand. You're doing the right things. You got the right idea of what you're doing with that lead hand. We want to now exercise it more. We want to get it out a little bit longer. But if we're controlling the air, we want it more almost like a wedge block, but out. So if you bring whoever, as you're watching this right now, bring your arm out into the finished jab position. That's not what we're looking for. We're not looking for a finished jab position. Bring it up sort of like a wedge block, where you have that katana-like shape of your arm. A little bit more bend, but it's that shape where your left elbow is in line with your left ear, and your left middle finger, that nail, is in line with, if you had Spock ears, your right Spock ear. So it's up higher. So there's an angle there. I can't show you because you can't see me. I got to get one of those things where you could see me in the corner, like right here. I've seen videos where people will be talking so if anyone here knows what that is, let me know, because that would be, that would have helped in that little explanation. All right, let's go back to this. So I'd like to see, and again, great call. Go to her belly with combinations. Ooh. Sorry, I want to get that. That was a nice little, I lost the, okay. Let's just keep going. So I like mixing up that level, and that was great. One, it was great that jab downstairs, but that cross came in super fast. And that was very good too. So let's watch that. Boom. Just you were right on that jab, and then you were right on it with that straight right hand. Obviously, in more heavier or open sparring or in a match, we're looking for, we're adding on a little heft to those punches. But again, this is a drill. The drill is being done at this level, at this layer. So as those of you watching that are like, well, that was exactly right, because we're not fighting here. We're drilling. We're working out some things. And then arms right back. Great defensive responsibility. And so what did we hear Serena say? Jab when you exit. Let's go back and let's see. When she does this work, so let me back up a little bit more, because I want to see where those jabs. So this is great. And then, right here, she finished that great combo. And now, if you note, here's what to notice. She finishes a great combo, moves to her left. Excellent job moving to the left. If there were jabs added in, Ashley wouldn't be able to do what Ashley's doing and what Ashley's about to do. So Ashley might not do what she's about to do because she's not looking to come in and smother and hurt and beat up. But that's what would happen. So let's back up a little bit. Beautiful job. And now, pop, pop, pop. If she's throwing jabs, Ashley's not doing this. Ashley's not doing that. Now, you notice Ashley backed up. Normally, Ashley comes forward. And again, so you could see these things with the lead hand. These are key pieces. I just want to back up. I just want to watch your feet for a sec, Kayla. Good job keeping them apart. Now, on that moment, your rear foot moved before the front foot. So it wasn't necessarily a pivot. Let me see what's going on here. All right, not bad. Now, for Kayla, what you need to be is more physical with that lead hand. Because you can see Ashley's not throwing hard, but she's physical. Even though it's not hard, it's still physical. And you need to, here's a great, again, I love these high hand wins. This is just a great moment. That's a great screenshot of the intention of controlling this hand. This hand is controlled. It's controlled. And see how you got the right idea. Boop, boop, boop. This the execution. That's what you need to focus on. So during your shadow boxing, during the next time you're in a bag class somewhere, and after you throw a combination, you come out and you keep those jabs alive into the air. We don't want them, with all due respect, we don't want them weak, and these are weak. But it's right idea, right thing at the right time, just the execution. That's what you need to work on. And that's where you get into a little worry, where when there are combinations that come in, bop, 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 the hands sort of freeze, which is fine. That's something that we can work on, something to be aware of. This is a great position, defense-wise. Ashley's doing a great job with controls, but that's a great position. So I do like that you do keep the hands up. What we'll work on for next things are, once you get into this position, wash your hair, drop the height, pivot out, wash the hair, drop the height, pivot in, wash your hair, drop your height, come right the fuck into Ashley's chest. Something like that. When we talk about wash your hair, again, if I had the little box here, I could explain it. I can't at the moment, nor do I want to. Those of you that know, you know. All right. Good. And Kayla, what would have been really good from here to here are those little shuck and jive, little head movement, little bopping head movement. Little womp, 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 womp. Just a little head movement. Nice. Good job defensively. This is good. That's exactly the stuff. That's exactly the stuff. Nice. Very nice. Now, what happened was you froze at the end. Froze is the wrong word for it. You stopped at the end. You had great momentum. So here we go. Boom. We got momentum. And then you stopped.
30 seconds.
And what we need to do in those things, that's where just either jabs on the exit, or if you take that step back in. Momentum's yours there.
30 seconds.
Jabs on those. Now, what we're talking about with subtle, see how Ashley's moving her head? I want to hear what Serena said. Okay. Nice. Great. Chew to the belly. So we need that cross to the belly.
10 seconds.
Nice. There's that cross to the belly. Excellent defense. Excellent job.
Time.
Excellent job. Woo. Sorry, Ashley. Let's watch what Ashley does at the end.
Time.
Posts. Oh. That shit excites me. Let's watch that again. So we've talked about posts before. We post on the bag. We talk about posts, and I usually get a lot of, what the hell's a post for? So what's a post for? Look at that. That stopped everything. And then that cross was able to go.
Time.
Oh, that's just exciting. All right. So that is it in terms of the film study. Kayla, great job. Really great job. Serena, excellent job on your corner work. If what we'll do is, if anyone, I'm trying to do the marketing spiel at the end, which I'm still kind of new to. If you would like a film study of either your shadow boxing, bag work, drilling, partner work, sparring, fights, let me know. We can make a film study for you. Let me know. All right. Again, it is Todd Paris, Lucky Punch Boxing. And guys, thanks for watching. And again, Kayla, really good job.